guys, it's Joe here at XFoxGames. Check it out. We got the Nerf Ultra Select. Now, I didn't expect to see this at my local Walmart, and I happened to be walking through, and I was like, oh man, they got it. Let's pick it up. I couldn't order it anywhere else currently, but maybe by the time some of you guys watch this video, right, they'll be more readily available. But I couldn't find it until I saw it. I was like, okay, I got to pick that up. They only had two, so I just picked up one. Hopefully that somebody else, that knows about the Select is going to be like, oh my gosh, they got one. So, yeah, we got ours at Walmart. It was $60, so keep that in mind. It's not a cheap blaster by any means, but let's hop right into this thing because this thing is it's actually pretty cool for the Ultra line, right? Lately, or some of the last blasters that the Nerf has come out with on the Ultra line have been pretty cool. Kind of like this here, I loved it, right? I was like, oh my gosh, that thing is crazy, and I like it. They're coming out with some newer stuff where I'm like, okay, price is still a little high, but it's still kind of cool. So before we even start, come on, definitely subscribe, guys. Get in on the giveaways, do all that good stuff, right? But let's hop right in and take a look at the box because you guys probably want to see that first. So the front of the box, I mean, it's a pretty big box from what I typically would grab, right? It's much bigger, but it kind of goes over the front. It's like, hey, look, cool. It's the Ultra Select. You got a bunch of cool stuff. You got the two new dart, or the single dart type, but you get two types of darts in here. So, we got to see how those work. And on the back of the box, same thing. Nothing too crazy back here. Always just a quicker glance. And they do talk about, again, the newer dart, the accuracy, precision darts that, I don't know. We're going to see how they really function in comparison to the others. So there is the box. Nothing too crazy there. But when we actually look up this blaster, like up close and personal, you guys, it's pretty good. I mean, it's shaped very well. I could see a lot of people modding this thing. I could see a lot of people coloring this and making it their own. And it feels really good. I have a feeling like, again, this is more angled towards the adult Nerfer due to the weight with the batteries, but still, really a smaller Nerfer could definitely wield this thing pretty easy. And I think it's going to be a great addition to really anybody's Nerf Ultra line if you guys are really into this. So the looks, not too bad. It does come with two 10-round magazines. Now, these magazines, again, are compatible with the amped magazines that are, kind of that yellowish oranges. Or actually, I think this may have came on the Pharaoh. But it is compatible. I do like the orange and kind of clear acrylic better than the black with the black kind of smoky acrylic there. Again, your call. So if you have both of these, you can fully compatible use them. So having two mags is not too bad. I mean, it is what it is. And one thing about this that you guys know about this Ultra line for me is, how they're powered. So again, this is an electronic, technically full auto blaster, and they're still using 6 C batteries. Oh man, when are they going to stop this, right? I mean, with the rival line, they were using, I think it was a D or C, and it was crazy. You were just ripping through those things until with the Perseus, they started using the battery pack, the 9.6 volt. And I was like, that is awesome. I don't know why they're not doing it with the newer stuff they're coming out with, right? Because 6C batteries is, it's going to be about $10, and you're probably going to rip through those pretty quick. So you're always going to be just ripping through batteries. So I highly see this particular blaster being modified to use like a LiPo battery pack, right? And it works perfectly fine. So just kind of keep that in mind. It did make things shoot a little bit hotter, but I do not know, if everything can take that for a long amount of time. So take that with a grain of salt because I haven't really shot too many with my 11.1 volt battery pack in here. Now, with this too, the grip, not too bad. It is a little, I feel like it's a little tiny. It has that kind of orangish brass knuckle type guard there in the front, which I feel like they could have just left off. It does, of course, have the rev trigger on the bottom, and then, of course, the actual trigger up top. So you just pretty much hold the trigger, and it'll fire as long as you hold the trigger and have rounds. So just kind of keep that in mind. Now, it does have one tactical rail on the top right up there. It's about 6 to 7 inches, and for the most part, you could put whatever it is, a scope, a red dot, whatever you want that fits the Nerf Ultra line tactical rail width, right? Some people say, oh, I'm going to throw a normal red dot on there. Some of those won't work because they are actually a little bit wider than the kind of thinner rail here for most of the Nerf line tactical rails. Now, up here at front, why they call this the Select? Yes, you got this like grip here up front, which is not too bad. I mean, my big adult hands, it fits pretty well, so it should fit a small Nerfer's hands just fine. And when you pull it front and back, what it does is it switches the magazine to the other magazine. So if you pull it back, it puts it left. Pull it forward, it does it right. so if you have the more accurate darts on the right or the left, vice versa, you can just swap, or if you just have them loaded with either or, you can just swap to the other magazine, which is kind of cool, right? So you can kind of pick and choose. I wish that all the Ultra darts were quote-unquote as accurate as each other, but that's not the case. So yeah, you can just kind of switch whether you want to go for accuracy or whether you want to go for whatever you want to call the standard Ultra darts, if you want to call them just inaccurate. Now, with the darts, though, I did kind of compare them, right? I kind of compared the regular darts against the more accurate darts versus the Screamer darts or the Ultra Screamers. And, you know, for the most part, the new accuracy darts or the red tip darts, yeah, they actually are a little bit more accurate. I didn't think there was going to be much of a change, but you could see, again, the darts, I mean, they all look about the same. It's just the different tips. The weights are about just the same. I didn't notice anything difference in the weights or the flexibility, so take it for what it is. So let's actually hop right in and watch me shooting this thing. So you could see here, you know, it's if you watch the spread on some of these, you could definitely tell how some of the quote-unquote red tip darts are actually a lot more accurate than the standard darts. And you're going to notice an FPS increase. Well, at least I did. So the standard darts were getting right around about 90 to 91 FPS, somewhere right in there. And that's typically what I expect when I shoot the Ultra line, right? Even from the Springers to this, it's about 90 FPS. Maybe a couple got into the 95s, but mostly 90. Now, when it came to the red tipped or the accuracy darts, you're going to see there, I'm getting about 100 to 105 FPS. So I definitely get an increase in both FPS as well as performance and accuracy, which I'm like, man, why would I even want to shoot the regular darts out here? I just want to shoot the more accurate red tip darts because they're more accurate and I get more FPS. And the FPS was more consistent when I held the rev trigger down in shot. So I got a lot more consistency than the actual regular darts or the Screamer darts, depending on which, you know, again, which ones you guys are shooting. So I don't know. I mean, you can see here again, I am just, you know, shooting full auto, kind of pulling a few, full auto, just kind of going. And for the most part, you will see the accuracy difference in these, which I did not believe it at first. I was like, no way. But sure enough, there definitely is a big difference between those two darts. Now, here's the thing, guys. This particular blaster, I mean, it's pretty awesome. I have a lot of ideas of things you can do to this blaster. You know, definitely redo this front handle, maybe make this front muzzle. I mean, there's a lot of things, and I think that a lot of people are definitely going to probably mod this particular blaster because this is great. You know, having multiple ways to fire, and look at that. Again, that's, you guys can kind of see it switching there. Having multiple different ammunition types, maybe having a longer mag, I don't know. I just think this thing is pretty cool, but again, for the $60 price tag, it is what it is. And again, the you know, the red tip darts, they are more accurate. I was not going to buy it. I was like, there's no way. There is no way. But after shooting it, you know, 4 or 5 times on the regular 6 volts or the regular 6C batteries, I was like, okay. But then once I put the LiPo in there, I was like, okay, sure, it is correct. These are just the superior dart comparison to the regular. And again, the FPS and the video, you guys can kind of see it there. So overall, I think it's a pretty cool blaster. It is, again, a little bit on the pricey side, but I think it is a great collection or a great add to anybody's Ultra line if you're collecting all those. Now, one more thing, too, to give you guys an idea of the size of this, right? I mean, you can kind of see it here. I'll pull up this video, but you guys can kind of see it compared to a Nexus Pro. And I do have a few mods on that Nexus Pro, but you could see, I mean, it's about the same width and length. Maybe the width is a little bit slighter, but you could see the difference there. I do have that big muzzle on the tip there, but again, the you know, without having all the electronics and the C batteries in the Nexus Pro, yeah, it is definitely a little bit lighter than, of course, the larger Nexus Pro itself. So there you go, guys. Let me know what you guys think of this. I'm definitely curious on what you guys think of this, and if you guys have been able to pick this thing up at your local Walmart or Target or wherever you guys got it at. Anyways, let me know. Thanks again, Fox fans.